Welcome back, Freedom Finders. Hopefully you caught my last video, which was all about telling stories to engage your customer. If you haven't watched that one, you should definitely check it out. In this video, we'll put those stories to work. Once you know which stories you want to tell, you need to know how to get these stories in front of your ideal customer. Stories can infuse almost anything you create. When creating social posts, share important parts of your story. You can tie pieces of your story to a helpful tip. Personal stories get a lot of engagement on social media because they aren't salesy and they make you relatable. Add your story to your website if you have one. The About Me page is not a resume. You should include the story of your journey and how you solve the problem that your product or service solves for your ideal customer. Share your Epiphany Bridge story on the About page for the best impact. Include stories on your sales page. Before you talk about the features of your product or service, illustrate how life changes after your program by sharing a success story. If you haven't helped anyone yet, share your Epiphany Bridge story until you do have some success stories to share. Include stories in your emails. If you are on my email list, you have read many of my stories. If you're not on my list, then you should be. I will include a link to where you can subscribe in the description below. Weave helpful anecdotes into your emails and make sure that you provide a ton of value in them so your customers stay subscribers. Now create a plan for where and when you will share your stories. Choose a piece of existing content or outline a new one. Then ask yourself, where can I add a brief story as a hook to draw attention to the offer or piece of content? What stories can I tell to illustrate a problem and solution for my ideal customer? Could a customer's testimonials tell the story for me? Can I work with a customer who experienced success to write their Epiphany Bridge story? Think about how you might revise your content to include your story. Stories become even more powerful when shared out loud. This can be done on your podcast or in a video. Practice telling one of your stories out loud. This might feel uncomfortable at first, but it gets easier with practice. Here are some tips for making your stories resonate with your customers. Keep it concise. There are times when it might be beneficial to elaborate on your story, but for now, keep it short and sweet. Focus on the emotions it evokes in you. It can be hard to be vulnerable, but emotion is what connects people, so include that in your story. Don't be afraid to use natural pauses and inflection. People like a fast pace, but you risk losing your listener if you don't pause once in a while. Imagine the impact when you consistently tell stories that resonate with your ideal customers. It's an exciting way to connect with them. Record yourself using video or audio telling one short story. Share a link to it in the comments below. There's no need to edit your video. We support raw effort here. If you're ready to take the next step, check out this video where I talk about creating your value ladder. This is a really important step to understanding how to effectively engage your customer, so you don't want to miss it. That's it for now. I'll see you in the comments.